Okay. All right. I'll say let's start it again. Peter, you have the floor. Can you hear me, Peter, now?
I definitely can. Hello.
Very good. Good to see you.
Okay.
And
Happy holidays.
It's a bottler, vintage bottler, and he is delighted to share with us from the great state of California. Where the time difference is 3 hours back. It's 6:30, so it's 3:30 there in the afternoon. Is that correct?
Nope, I'll correct you on all of it. So I'm in Oyster Bay, New York. So
Okay.
I'm on Eastern Standard Time. So
Okay.
hello to my Long Islander friends.
Uh-huh.
How are you? Vintage is a big step up for what I do. I am a winemaker and a wine bottler, and I'm the CEO of a kind of a small business that does, and behind me you can see some of my products. I'll bring them up and show them in a little bit, but it's definitely about holiday season and having a lot of fun. So I do a few different types of products. Anybody here a wine aficionado? Good, because I don't do that. I do like things like Moscatos and Sangrias and Chardonnays and Rosés. As I like to say, I just do wine that you just put it to the lips and drink it.
Okay.
So I started this little company about 7, 8 years ago. And well, maybe I'll show you a couple. In these adorable little bottles, and that's self-promoting, but a little bottle like that opens up like and that's a Moscato, and I have Moscato and peach or whatever. I got some sangrias from Spain. Behind me, I have a new product, which I'll tell you about. I'll be conscious of time, but I started with a bunch of investors. I spent most of my life in beer, which is also a happy time thing. And most of the time in Australia and the US and a bunch of different places bopping around. So I started a company about 7 or 8 years ago with some friends and family. It's the best way to describe it. The other way to describe it wasn't venture capital money. So, and one of my initial investors was a person named Nicki Minaj. Anybody ever heard of her?
Yeah.
Well, tonight I'm gonna get twisted, mix Moscato and a vodka I'm mixing. So Nicki was one of the first people. We started this company for a couple reasons. One was there was we thought a void in kind of casual wine. You know, this isn't about pulling the cork, swirling, sniffing, sipping, and then spitting it out into a bucket. This is about just drinking some nice wine and having a little fun with it. So that was kind of our initial thought. I don't know those of you that know Moscato. Moscato is actually a very old varietal of wine, initially an Italian grape. And it's way back when it was called Muscatel. And so that's not a very pretty name for it. And it was kind of an after dinner wine, a little sweeter, a little, as I like to say, when you had everything you could eat at a steakhouse, what am I going to do now? I'll have an after dinner wine. So, so that was kind of how it was invented. It's a very easy to grow grape, but very hard to get to perfection in terms of the final bottle. So we started it with again, my investors and Nicki. Nicki is still my single largest investor. She's no longer promoting the brand. She's just an owner. But when we started, she was full bore. And for those of you who might know her music, I didn't at the time, but our first video or promotion with her was something called a song called Old School. High School, excuse me, not old school. I'm old school. High School had Lil Wayne in it, and that's how we got Kaboom, and away we went. So I bring in my wines from Australia, from Italy, from Argentina, from Spain, and kind of mix them up a little bit. So the brand name is MYX Beverage, and you can probably go on our website or on social media and find us. So that's kind of how I started. Some benefits of it. And I'm a little hesitant to call it this, but there's a big growth in the wine business for better for you wine. And what does that mean? So what that means is lower sugar, lower carbohydrates, and actually lower alcohol. So my products are all about 5% alcohol, and to give you perspective, a normal wine is somewhere between 12, 13, 14%. So that's and then, you know, my sugars, you know, there's sugar in it, but there's also lower carbohydrates, that sort of stuff. And I put a little fizz in it. So I have about half the carbonation of champagne, and that tickles the tongue and makes it kind of drinkable. And the want to have a beer. I don't want someone to go through the hassle of a mixed drink. And if they open the whole bottle of wine, you know, I guess I'm going to drink it, which isn't so bad. But this has a twist off top. You throw it in the fridge, you throw it in the cooler, put it to lips.
Okay, that's convenient. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the whole thought. So part of what generated this call was a couple new products that I'm playing around with. And I don't know if you can see these. I'm not a very good presenter on Zoom, although. So that's
I think you're doing pretty good. Yes.
Yeah.
We
So
see
that's a
that.
MYX Light Chardonnay from Italy and a MYX Light Rosé from Italy. And these things are kind of cool. It's like
Yeah.
75 calories for a glass of wine.
Mhm.
They come in cans, which some people like, some people don't. Basically, it's very low in carbohydrates, low in sugar, and these are also about 5% alcohol. So
Yeah.
I call it day wine. You can drink it all day, or porch wine, or deck wine, you know, whatever. It's very, very easy. And we did it out of little cans and little bottles because when you drink wine right out of a big bottle, it's probably saying a little something different than you really want to say to people. But so that's it. One of my other partners, for those who might know, is Mona Scott Young. Mona Scott Young owns a franchise called Love and Hip Hop. And so you might ask, what is a guy like me doing a business like this? So I'm kind of the puppeteer behind the whole thing, making the business work, making sure that, you know, we get good wine in good bottles and get it out to you folks. So that's my pitch.
Well, that's a wonderful pitch.
Thank you.
And I think I like the fact that it's light and lowers some of those calories. And who doesn't like hip hop? We actually have a rapper tonight. I'm not sure if he's on already. Oh, the rapper's here. Great. So thank you. And I know you have a busy day. Please stay as long as you can, Peter. And we will do another segment soon. But thank you so much for being here
One
today.
question,
I'm
Peter?
honored to be invited. Anybody have any questions before I kind of?
That is a point. It's Italian? The wine is Italian?
Not all of them. So these two are Italian. Okay. Made in the Northeast coast. The Moscato is a Gordo Moscato. It actually comes from Australia.
Okay.
The actual wine itself, which is a great growing region for white wines and Moscatos. And my sangrias, where else would they come from? Spain.
Yeah, right.
So they're all. So the cool part is, like, if you go into your store, you're going to buy 4 of these bottles for about $8.99.
Mm.
So I'm not on the wine list of Morton Steakhouse. I want to be in your cooler on the deck,
Yep.
and you know, and just have a little fun. Who's the rapper? Raise your hand.
Where's the rapper?
No
Those
rapper.
guys. Okay. He's coming.
So
Church boys.
so Nicki was kind of our fire on the coals, if you will. Squirt a little lighter fluid. So she's done. We've been in about 17, 18 of her videos. Probably the biggest one is one called Anaconda, which is a remix for, I'm pretty sure it's called Big Butts, but anyway, it went to a couple of movies and all that sort of stuff. So really kind of fun. And for me personally, I started the business when I was about 59 as a second career. And I can just tell you, for all the entrepreneurs out there, learning is the fountain of youth. And I'm on my way I continue to learn every day. So,
Very good.
yeah. So thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you. And we hope you'll come back and we'll do a lot with you in 2022. We're looking forward to it. So this is a great holiday promotion, and you can definitely, we'll make sure that we tell you where to get it. So I'd like to introduce you to Dia, who is our MC for today. And hello, Dia.
She's got that bustling fire going. Looks so wonderful.
I'm warm and ready to party.
All right, so we're going to be recording each segment. So Dia, I will stop here and bring you in. So just be conscious that this is a recording for broadcast.